Have you ever done this? Left your technical pen and forgotten to clean it, and you end up with a big mess like this? It's just gross, and it's all stuck in there. And you think you might as well throw away your pen because you can't get it clean, no matter what you do. I'm going to show you how to clean it and save your pen. But be aware, this is a last-ditch effort. This is the unofficial way to clean your pens. Do this at your own risk. It's not the way they tell you to do it in the instructions. But if you can't use the pen anyway, you really don't have anything to lose. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to take it apart. It's all dried out and gross, so it's not going to leak anywhere. So we're just going to unscrew the entire thing. Now this part here, if you ever wonder, aside from helping you remember which line width you're getting, it also protects this right here and keeps your pen from leaking on the inside of the screws on your compass adapter. All right, so we've got everything. We're unscrewing all of this. You can use this key that came with it. Now, if you don't have a key, or if you've lost yours, it's not a problem. Use some needle nose pliers, and see where these are flat here. Just hold it there, and you can use your needle nose pliers to unscrew this. And I can feel that this is very cakey and gross. Okay, so we're going to undo the entire thing. It's so caked on that this little piece here, oh my, this piece is really, there's a little piece here. You're going to take that out. And then there's this little piece here. And this is so sticky, there's no way this would work unless we take the whole entire thing apart. Now look at this. This is the wire. This, they tell you, they don't really want you to take this apart, but do you see how it's almost like tar? That is just, it's not going to come off unless you take the whole thing apart. I'm going to take it to the sink and I'm going to rinse it all out, and I'm going to use 7th generation liquid dishwashing cleanser, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Now I've soaked this. It's pretty hot because I've rinsed it out. I've rinsed everything out, but it's still dirty, so I'm going to use these Q-tips here to clean inside of here. Even though I've rinsed it and soaked it, there's probably still some more in here. So we'll just clean everything out little by little. See, even the inside of your cap gets gross. So just go in there and clean it out with your Q-tip really well. Okay, so, boy, it's still pretty warm because I just put really hot water in here. I'm going to get it all cleaned out. You see how nice that is? Look how clean that is. So much better than it was. I don't want to burn myself. I'm not used to doing it this way. Okay. Now, very gently, I'm going to clean this wire. I'm going to clean the entire little thing. Being very careful, this is very delicate. Very delicate. Okay, so I'm going to stick it back in here. And believe it or not, this is where a lot of it gets really gross, is in this piece right here. So You want to clean that out really well with a Q-tip. See, look at all the junk. You would never think that there's that much stuff in here, but there is. Okay, I think that's pretty clean. We'll let that soak and rinse. Now this is another little thing. This goes in there. It's clear. I'll show you where everything goes as soon as we get it all cleaned out. I'll put it back together and show you how that works. Now keep in mind, you're probably not going to get every little stain off of here, but it's going to look so much better. Remember how black that was? It was just tarry and gross and sticky. Could never have flown, the ink never would have flown in that. All right, this is the last piece. Now, this is kind of interesting because you're gonna, it's gonna squirt out. The water will squirt out the end. Oh, there's so much in there. Oh, look, oh. You've rinsed it and rinsed it and rinsed it and you think it's all clean. It's not. Ugh. I end up using so many of these Q-tips. It's just disgustingly gross. Stick it in there some more. I mean, you're really going to give it a good scrubbing with these Q-tips. And that ink has been in there maybe even a year. It's been that long. And you should not, don't do that. But if you do, if you're careful, you can save your pen. I think we're actually getting toward the end, finally. And you have to be very careful, but you go in from the bottom. There we go. And you want to clean it out here. Very gently, but thoroughly clean that out, because that's where your ink is really stuck in there and it's really hard for it to come out. Okay, now I'm gonna get in here some more and see a bunch more got loosened up by doing that. And you can see because the ink will come out on your fingers from the edge. I'm going to rinse it a little bit. Rinse this a little bit, go back in there again. You have to be very gentle and very careful when you're doing this. But this is how you clean out that nib. That nib gets stuff dried up in there, and it is just darn near impossible to clean if you're not patient. One more. I keep saying that. One more, one more. But there we go. Yep. Yep, looks good to me. The first thing you're going to do is put this wire back in. Now be advised, it's hard to get this back in. You have to be very, very, very gentle. And you have to wiggle it around until you find you don't want any resistance. So you just have to wiggle it in. There. All right, and then this piece goes on top of it. Okay. And then this piece right here goes on top of here, and screw that back in. You can either use your key, or I find I just use my pliers, and not too tight. You don't want to put it in there too tight, okay? And then this goes here, and this goes back on here. You have a clean pen. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches. Bye.